Please rise for the singing of the Star Spangled Banner and the Hatikva. Please be seated. This week, the 8th grade was particularly nice to me, which made me kind of nervous. And I've been looking out for all different kinds of tricks or pranks that may be played, and I think I've discovered the first one. Somebody moved my chair off of the podium, and so I don't have a chair. So can I ask anyone in the back, possibly or by eyes, if you wouldn't mind bringing up the chair? Thank you very much, guys. Good job. You got me once. We'll see what else is coming. Thank you. I would like to ask Gabriel Markovitz and William Needleman to come up and recite readings from the Psalms.
Shir Malot Asher Kol Yered Adonai Halech V'Dracha Yagirka Pecha Kitocha Shiracha V'Tovlach Eshtecha Kegefen Poria V'Yarkarte V'Techa B'Necha Kishtile Zetim Saviv V'Shulchanecha Yineki Kenya Barach B'Yer Adonai Yevarech Adonai Mitzion Re'eh V'Tov Yishalayim Kol Yechayecha Re'eh V'Niha B'Necha Shalom Al Yisrael.
A song of degrees. Happy is everyone who fears Hashem, who walks in his ways. For you will eat from the labor of your hands. You will be happy, and it will be well with you. Your wife will be like a fruitful vine in your house, your children like olive shoots around your table. Behold, so will he be blessed who fears Hashem. Hashem will bless you from Zion, and you will see the good of Jerusalem all the days of your life. And you will see your children's children. May peace be upon Israel.
It's my pleasure to ask Monica Calabrese, the immediate past president of the Board of Columbus Torah Academy, to come up and greet you tonight.
It's certainly my pleasure to be here on behalf of the Board of Trustees of Columbus Torah Academy to welcome you all to the 8th grade graduation. You know, several years ago there was a big debate, and it repeated year after year for about 4 or 5 years. Once we had high school, do we still need 8th grade graduation? And I'm pleased to say that every year the answer was, yes, we still need an 8th grade graduation. There is a point where one has to have a moment to look back and to acknowledge the accomplishments of the children and what they've managed to do and how they've grown up and how they've changed. And that's this time. So we're very pleased that we have this opportunity, and mazel tov to you all on your children's graduation.
The theme of the 8th grade presentations this evening is trees, and we will begin with the first graduate, and all the graduates will present tonight.
I walked onto the school grounds for the first time. I was a shy, insecure, nervous preschooler, but at the same time, I was very excited. I went into the kindergarten classroom with my mom, and we sat in the back of the room. I saw some familiar faces in the classroom. During snack time, I remember spilling apple juice all over my shirt and having to wear some of the clothes that the nurse had. The teacher began to collect all of the wrappers and cups from the snack, and the children proceeded to return to their seats. Pretty soon, it was time for recess. This was my first recess of many, and I was ecstatic. I followed the kids that I knew, Jared, Joey, and Charlie, to the playground. We were playing and having so much fun. Halfway through the recess, I ran to the seesaw. As I was running, I tripped and landed face first on the seesaw. I remember my mom and the teacher running out to make sure I was okay. At that moment, I was taken to the nurse's office to be given a bandage. On the drive home, I remember what it felt like to be at that school. Despite all the trouble, it was warm, loving, and caring. On that day, as small as it was, a chapter in my life was closed. But when something ends, a new thing starts. I believe that now another chapter is closing. Although it is a small stepping stone, next year we'll be attending high school. But now I stand in front of you for the last time as an 8th grader. I am very happy that I've been lucky enough to attend this school. I have always felt a sense of security, and I don't think I could have that same feeling anywhere else. At this time, I would like to thank my parents for allowing me to go to a remarkable school such as this one. I would like to thank all of my teachers, past and present, for all of the knowledge that they have given to me. I would also like to thank my friends, family, and others for attending our graduation. Finally, I would like to thank my classmates for the great years here at CTA. Thank you, and have a nice day.
This is a real lockdown. The words blared from the loudspeaker. We 4th graders all sat there for moments thinking it wasn't real until the words were spoken yet again. At first we sat in shock, but over time we fell into our routine, but under lockdown. The boys made fake weapons with pencils, and the girls chatted for hours waiting for the fugitive to be caught. Even under surprising circumstances, I know that we'll always find ways to adapt and be ourselves. This is just one experience from CTA that I will remember. Everywhere I go, another memory resides. The playground, halls, and classrooms. The friends I make here in a welcoming environment I will hopefully keep forever. Our theme tonight is a tree. Everyone appreciates the aesthetic qualities of a tree. Its shelter, beauty, and fruits. It's not what's on the outside, it's what's underneath, the roots. I have developed many roots throughout my years at CTA. Hopefully they will strengthen as I grow.
When trying to write a speech, I had no idea what to write about. There are so many things in my memory about my 9 years at Columbus Tar Academy. One fun memory was apple picking in kindergarten. My whole class played in the trees, even though our teachers told us not to. In 6th grade, I was on the volleyball team. Although the older girls didn't like it, later in the season, they were happy to have me on the team because I would go for the ball when others wasn't. A few weeks before school started in 7th grade, Tori and I hung out because both our mothers forced us to, and now we're great friends. Then more recently, DC trip. Within those 5 days, so much happened. One day, all 12 students and 2 adults stuffed into a 7-passenger van. I made friends that I'm going to miss so much when they're gone, no matter if it's because they're moving or just going to school in a different state. I'll miss them, but I'll still have memories with them. Just like a group of trees, they will remain close, for our roots are in the same place. I hope to make many more memories during my high school years and my many years to come.
Good evening, parents, teachers, friends, and everyone else here tonight. It is still hard for me to believe that graduation is finally here. I still cannot get over the fact that high school is approaching so soon. It feels like just yesterday when I walked into CTA for the first time. I did not know what to expect, and I still remember the feeling of loneliness and bewilderment because I did not know many people. I soon felt comfortable and secure when I was warmly welcomed into CTA with open arms. I also was worried that I would remain behind in paper, since everyone had much more experience than I. With lots of help from teachers and students, I quickly adjusted to the Hebrew curriculum. In the 3 years that I've been at CTA, I've had wonderful teachers. Thank you so much for helping me prosper not only academically, but also as a person, and now I can somewhat fluently speak Hebrew. Thank you to all the friends that I've made that have been there for me and helped me get to this day, and finally thanking my class and everyone else that is here tonight.
We're moving, my parents said. A month later, I took a last look at my house and began my drive to Columbus from our home in Cincinnati, along with all of our possessions. 2 hours later, we arrived at the house and began to unpack our things. I looked around the unknown neighborhood with confusion and anxiety. I knew no one, and fitting it seemed like it would take forever. I came to CTA in 7th grade. I had met these kids once before, but I was still the new kid, and I didn't know anything about them. My classes were confusing, and I didn't know the schedule, even though I carried it around with me. Everything was difficult, and I was taking classes I'd never heard of. Nothing was like this in Cincinnati, I thought. I had friends in Cincinnati. I understood the classes I was taking, and I knew the area well. This wasn't Cincinnati, though. There was no Reds baseball, no Bengals football, and no comfortable atmosphere like the one I had come to know. It would be impossible to become used to Columbus and the people. A year later, I stand before you today with a feeling of friendship and accomplishment. The things I've achieved this past year are incredible. I was in charge of the house while my mother was in Washington, D.C. with the Navy, and my father was busy earning his master's degree. I've become friends with everyone in my class, started on the basketball team my first season playing, and I experienced a multitude of other events and challenges that I strongly overcame. Thank you to my friends and family for making my year at CTA one that has helped me grow as a person, and I look forward to many more great things to come. Thank you.
On graduation day, every girl puts on her favorite dress, applies makeup, and takes time to blow dry and iron her hair. Even the boys try to clean up and make an attempt of looking somewhat nice. They look themselves in the mirror one more time before leaving for their graduation and head downstairs, as their parents admire them with tears in their eyes. Then the parents smother them with mushy parent compliments, saying how much they've grown up since the day that they were born. Then come the pictures. Pictures with mom, with dad, grandparents, siblings, all in different combinations. Then more pictures, and more crying. In fact, I'll be lucky if my mom can withhold her tears until after the graduation. Yet we know that the real meaning of an event isn't defined by what you wear or by how many pictures are taken. As I stand here before you, fully prepared, I feel I'm ready to take on the bigger task of high school. My 4-year journey of lower school at CTA has come to an end. The struggles are many, but I managed to overcome those and walk away with much more. These 4 years have also been filled with great accomplishments among my classmates and me. Although the journey is over, a new one is just beginning, and I know that more great picture-worthy accomplishments are yet to be achieved. This day I remember like no other. Entering the 7th grade, there was a moment in my life that was scary and exciting at the same time. Walking into the big hallway with the big people and the big lockers is a little overwhelming when you're coming from the lower school. The bell rings, you lost your class schedule, and you have no idea where your class went, and you're in the middle of a swarm of people, not knowing where to go. I learned that you can learn a lesson in getting lost. Among the lessons one can learn is being responsible. I learned that a little preparation and organization will help me succeed in school. Also, that confidence and a sense of self-reliance is important, and not just in school. We decided that a tree might describe our years at CTA. The branches representing the years, the broken twigs representing the dark times, and the flowers and fruits representing the happiness and good times. The teachers at CTA have been unforgettable. and the friends I'll always keep in touch. I'm moving to New York next year with my mom. It's going to be both emotional and exciting for us. I'll not be partying for my friends until the end of the summer because I'll see them at camp. I would like to thank my mom, my grandparents, my family from coming into town, and my friends and my teachers for supporting me throughout my years at CTA.
As I walked into the upper level of the school, I felt two things, worried and anxious. Worried because I didn't know if I would like the teachers and classes of junior high. Anxious because I was going to a place I've never been before. As the year progressed, I found out that junior high wasn't that bad. Yes, there were Mrs. Katz's weekly tests and suicides in basketball practice. But we also discovered many more privileges than I had in the lower school. I got to play on the junior high basketball team, I was allowed soup at lunch, and I enjoyed the privileges of having a half an hour lunch every day. Then came 8th grade. The 8th grade felt like we were at a higher level than in the 7th grade, considering that we were the older grade. Although we loved our role as the older grade, we realized that those privileges came with responsibilities. Being a leader, being one of the leaders on the basketball team, getting to class on time, and setting a good example for the younger 7th graders were some of the obligations we slowly grew to know as 8th graders. Even though it's the end of our 8th grade year, we look toward high school with the same feelings of worry and anxiety, but this time we will know how to adjust.
Walking through the doors of CTA for the first day of 7th grade, I was feeling apprehensive. As I got into the new gym, I noticed that the classes were smaller than what I had been used to. Since I only knew Esther from hanging out with her in the summer, she introduced me to all the girls and pointed out some of the guys. All of the girls, Sarah, Hannah, Rosie, and Sonia, seemed very nice and would try to start a conversation with me. However, I was always too shy to continue the conversation. Throughout the first week of school, I could tell that my class was crazy. I mean, I think skipping down the hallway singing "It's a Jolly Holiday with Mary" wasn't exactly a normal thing to be doing. As the weeks went on, I was getting to know the students in the class better, and I was also really starting to like CTA. Sooner or later, I started becoming more social with everyone. That might have also had something to do with acting in front of Shakespeare in front of people my age that I had recently met. By the end of 7th grade, I was friends with all the girls in my class and a few outside, and I had a great school year. In fact, some of my best memories are from being in plays such as Shakespeare and Girls Production this year. Before I stepped foot into CTA, I couldn't tell a camel from an aleph. However, from the help of support of CTA faculty, I have grown and learned Hebrew well. Sooner than I thought, all of us began talking about graduation, and here we are. And a day I'm moving to New York, and although I was once nervous about entering CTA, I definitely look forward to returning the wonderful friends I have made here.
I look up at the scoreboard. The clock is ticking down as I dribble the ball towards half court. The clock ticks down, 3, 2, 1. I pass the timeline and give the ball heave somewhere in the direction of the basket. Perhaps not all of our sporting teams relied on the luck of a half-court shot. Sometimes it was difficult for our CTA sport teams to scrape together enough players with our small school, let alone players who had the experience and the will to win. On the other hand, being part of a team here had its pluses. Everyone makes the team, you play with people you see every day, and it's not overly competitive, so even if you miss a practice, it's not the end of the world. Also, we on the basketball team were fortunate to have Coach Byron. He trained the junior high team extremely well. We know he cares about the team when he starts having optional practices on Sundays 7 months before the season starts. Even though our record wasn't always great, being on the team was important. My parents were very happy that for both soccer and basketball season, my brother David and I were on the same team. Not only was it fun, but also we learned teamwork, dedication, and developed our skills. Now back to the half-court heave. The ball was hovering in the air, and I was thinking, just go in. But it didn't, right away. First the ball hit the front rim, then the backboard, then the front rim again. And then finally, as the buzzer sounded, the ball fell through the net.
Prophet Rebbe once said, "Every moment has two faces. It is a moment defined by the past from which it extends and by the future to which it leads. And it is a moment for itself with its own meaning, purpose, and life. Don't kill a moment." When I walk through the halls of CTA, I don't see classrooms and hallways, I see moments. I remember my first day of kindergarten, feeling insignificant and not knowing many people. When I passed the second grade classroom, I remember the first ever I did a race. Fourth grade was when we had the first and last real lockdown I've ever experienced in the middle of a Flemish test in our robotics class. In sixth grade, we had snowball fights inside of Tehillah. I remember spending weeks on Greek gods and Shakespeare in seventh grade. Now I remember eighth. Running for student council president and winning, going on the junior high retreat, putting hours into subjects that we never even ended up making. When I was younger, leaving for high school was just another fact of life. I always knew it was coming, but it didn't really register until last year. I realized that I would be leaving friends in a place I had known almost my whole life. Most of the friends I made, I probably will never see again. I want to thank CTA for everything it has given me in the past 9 years, the friendships I made, the lessons I learned, and the moments I would not have experienced anywhere else. CTA has given me a foundation that will help me throughout my years in high school and wherever my life may lead afterwards. I would like to thank my parents for helping me grow and learn. Without them, I would not be the person I am today. I also want to acknowledge all my teachers who have been supportive through the years and taught me valuable life lessons as well as academics. I have to say, though, that without the support of my friends and classmates, I would not have been able to come this far. They have been supportive and competitive at all the right times. I'm sure I will remember everything and everyone I have met here when I go to Pittsburgh. Thank you, CTA, for the moments you gave me. I will carry them with me forever.
I would like to ask Ira and Laura Nudis to please come up to present the diplomas. Rosie Deitch. Esther Geiger.
Look over this way.
Maxwell Jordan Herzog. Gabriel Markovitz. William Needleman. Sarah Nudis. Cody Parks. Bryce Colster. Alec Michael Siliski. Hannah Leora Schmelzer. Victoria Summers. At this time, Esther Geiger and Max Herzagi will come up to present the class gift to CTA, and this will be received officially by Sherry Herzagi, PTO Vice President of Fundraising. Sherry, please come up.
On behalf of the 8th grade class of 2008-2009, Esther and I are honored to present a gift to CTA.
We hope that the whiteboard and the multimedia projector will enhance the resources for both the teachers and the students, as well as bring current technology into the classrooms.
And now, graduates, I'd like to say a few words to you, but unfortunately I have to face the other direction, but I'm talking to you guys. In this week's Parsha of Ba'alotcha, the Torah begins with the words Ba'alotcha et hanerot, when you light, or literally when you lift up the candles of the menorah. And Rashi points out that the word Ba'alotcha is actually an unusual usage, because we would expect the Torah to say, use a word like light the candles. And he explains that what the Torah is saying is that the obligation of the Kohanim when they lit the menorah was not just to put a light there and move away, but rather to ensure that each candle of the menorah would burn by itself independently. And that's what it means to bring up the lights, to make sure that the flame would go up and stay. This is a wonderful message for the graduates this evening, because this is actually at the root of Jewish education and education in general. All of the goals of all teachers are to raise students who on their own begin to act independently, think independently, judge situations for themselves independently, and rise up on their own to begin to assume the responsibilities of adulthood. And I don't know if anyone who knows the members of this class would think that independent thinking and independent behavior has been a challenge for them. These are independent young men and women, and I don't think they waited to their graduation to express that. They have creativity, they have excitement, they have enthusiasm, and they have their own ideas about the world. And now as we stand here at their graduation, we understand that they are truly ready and truly prepared to move on to the next stage of life. At this time, I think that the Hebrew word shalom is extremely appropriate. Of course, we know that it can mean goodbye, and we say goodbye in a certain sense to our graduating class tonight. But in addition to that, the word shalom means peace, and it is connected to the sense of harmony and completeness and wholeness. For the last years, while you were here, graduates at CTA, your teachers have attempted to bring wholeness into your lives, to teach you values, and to help you understand how to synthesize those values with both your academic traditions in general studies and in Judaic studies as well. So all of the lessons that we've brought you have been with the goal of shlemut, of harmony and completeness. And in addition to that, of course, we know the word shalom can mean hello. And we understand and hope that all of you, as you leave tonight, as you graduate, will come back many times. Those of you who are continuing on in the high school at CTA, those of you who are going on to other venues, we hope that you will always view CTA as a home, that you will always feel welcome to come back because you are, and that we will see you many, many times for simachot, for joyous occasions in the future. Mazel tov and congratulations. Alex Salutsky and Tori Summers will close our program this evening with reading of Tehillim.
Shilma Loda Sai Na Harinai Yin Yavo Ezri. Ezri Me'im Hashem Oseh Shemayim Va'aretz. Al Yitem Lamod Raglecha Al Yanush Sharmecha. Hine Lo Yanush V'lo Yishan Shemer Yisrael. Hashem Shemercha, Hashem Tzilcha, Al Yad Yaminecha. Yomam Hashem Lo Yakeka V'Yareach B'Layla. Hashem Yishmarcha Mikol Ra Yishmor Et Nafshecha. Hashem Yishmor Tzeitzcha U'Ve'echa Me'atav Yad Alon.
A song of degrees while I lift up my eyes to the mountains. From where does my help come from? My help comes from Hashem, who made heaven and earth. He will not let your foot be moved. He who watches you will not slumber. Behold, who watches Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. Hashem is your keeper. Hashem is your shade upon your right hand. The sun will not strike you by day nor by night. Hashem will preserve you from all evil, and He will preserve your soul. Hashem preserve your going and your outcoming in this time, forth and forevermore.
Please forgive me, I left out a beautiful poem. Aaron Polster and Cody Parks and Hannah Schmelzer will please come up to recite the poem Fly, Baby Bird.
הגוזלים שלי עזבו את הקן, פרסו כנפיים ועפו. ואני ציפור זקנה, נשארתי בקן, מקווה מאוד שהכל יהיה בסדר.
My baby birds left the nest, spread their wings and flew away. I am an old bird left in the nest. I hope that all will be well.
תמיד ידעתי שיבוא היום שבו צריך לפרק. אבל עכשיו זה ככה בא לי פתאום, אז מה הפלא שאני קצת טועה?
I always knew the day will come to say goodbye, but now when it is here, no wonder I am worried.
Ruf gozal chatoch et hashamayim, tusa'an shabal lach. Rak al tishkach yesh nesher bashamayim, gur lecha.
Fly away, baby birds. Cut the sky. Fly wherever you want to. Just don't forget there's an eagle in the sky. Be aware.
Let us join together to wish the last congratulations and mazel tov to the 8th grade graduating class of 2009, 57.